Archangel Michael says, God has been watching the quiet tears that fall from your eyes, the heavy burdens that press upon your shoulders, and the silent cries of your heart, and now He has chosen to open the heavens in response to your pain, preparing a miracle blessing so immense and life-changing that not only you but also your entire family will step into a life filled with joy, peace, and the comfort of His endless love. And that sacred blessing will move through your days like sunlight, breaking through dark clouds, gently but surely transforming everything around you into a testimony of His mercy and goodness. Type 333 to welcome blessings. The Lord knows the countless nights when sleep would not come easily, when worries about tomorrow kept circling within your mind, and He understands the hidden moments when you questioned how long you would have to endure the trials that seemed never-ending, yet all along His hands were guiding you, shaping your path with care, and now the hour has arrived for Him to pour His blessing upon you in ways that will leave your heart amazed, your spirit lifted, and your soul wrapped in gratitude beyond words. This miracle blessing is not just for a single day of happiness or a brief moment of relief, but it is meant to bring lasting change, a renewal so profound that even your family will feel its embrace, carrying them into brighter days where laughter will return to your home, hope will rise like a gentle dawn, and love will be restored in its purest form, becoming the anchor that steadies you through every new chapter of life. When God moves, He does not do so in half measures, for His blessings are never small or limited, but overflowing and abundant, spreading into every corner of your life until all the shadows of sorrow are replaced with light, until every scar of the past is soothed by His healing presence, and until your steps no longer stumble but walk firmly in the assurance that His grace is guiding each moment with purpose and care. There will come a time very soon when you will look back at the road you once walked with weariness, and instead of pain you will feel awe, because you will see how every difficulty prepared you for this blessing, how every unanswered prayer was leading you toward a greater answer, and how every moment of waiting was not wasted but was instead shaping you into someone ready to carry the gift that God has now decided to place in your hands. A gift that will bring joy not only to you but also to those you love. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. Your home will no longer feel heavy with silence or tension, for the peace of God will settle over it like a gentle fragrance that cannot be hidden, filling each room with a sense of safety, calm, and warmth, and this blessing will reach even into the smallest details of your daily life, transforming simple routines into moments of gratitude and ordinary days into experiences of extraordinary love that constantly remind you of His presence and His care. This miracle is not only about lifting your struggles away, but about giving you a deeper awareness of God's love, a love so faithful that it never abandons you, a love so strong that it holds you when everything else seems to slip away, and a love so gentle that it heals the places inside you that you did not even realize were wounded, turning your pain into wisdom, your loss into gain, and your sorrow into joy that will not fade with passing time. Every step you take from this moment forward will be touched by His grace, every prayer you whisper will carry the fragrance of faith that rises to His throne, and every hope you hold within your heart will no longer feel like a distant dream but will become the seed of blessings ready to bloom, because the Lord has already decided that your struggles have lasted long enough and now it is your time to see His hand move in power, writing a new story of joy and victory across your life and the life of your family. Your heart may still carry memories of brokenness, But soon those memories will no longer weigh you down, for they will become reminders of how far God has brought you, and the testimony of your life will inspire others, showing them that no matter how dark the night may be, the morning of His blessing always arrives, bringing a new season filled with light, renewal, and the sweetness of His unending love that heals every hurt and restores every loss. This first part of His promise to you is only the beginning, for the blessing He is preparing is not a fleeting moment of comfort but a lasting transformation that will carry you into a future more radiant than you could have imagined, and as you hold on to His presence with trust, you will soon see that everything which once seemed impossible has become possible, not by your strength but by His love, which never fails and never forgets those who call upon Him with a sincere heart. Type 777 if you walk by faith. Archangel Michael says, "The blessing that is about to enter your life is not a random gift or a passing moment of good fortune. It is the result of every prayer you whispered in secret, every tear that you thought no one saw, and every act of faith you carried in your heart when the road seemed too heavy. And God in His perfect timing has chosen now to reward your endurance by releasing a miracle that will not only lift you up but will also carry your entire family into a season of peace and happiness that will flow like a river and never run dry. The struggles that once seemed endless will slowly begin to fade as His light breaks through your circumstances like the first rays of morning, warming everything that was cold, brightening everything that was dim, and restoring life to places inside you that had grown weary. And as this blessing begins to unfold, you will notice how even the smallest details of your daily journey begin to reflect His love, His care, and His desire to bring you into a new beginning filled with peace and joy. There will be days very soon when you will pause and realize that the heaviness which used to follow you has quietly been lifted, and the silence that once carried loneliness will be filled with the gentle sound of laughter returning to your home, because this blessing is not meant to touch only one part of your life, but it is meant to fill every corner, shaping your future into something brighter than you could have imagined, and reminding you constantly that God is faithful and His promises are alive within you. What once felt like walls built against your progress will crumble beneath the weight of His mercy, and the closed doors that caused you pain will be replaced with open pathways that lead you toward joy. And as you walk through them you will see how He was never late, how He was never absent, but was patiently guiding you to the very place where His miracle would meet you. And this realization will bring such deep comfort to your spirit that you will know you are never forgotten and never forsaken. Type yes to affirm. This miracle blessing is not about riches alone or the changing of outward conditions, though those will come, but it is about a deeper peace that cannot be taken away, a joy that is not shaken by circumstances, and a love that strengthens the bond within your family, creating a unity that reflects the heart of God, a unity that will help you rise above challenges together, and a unity that will remain firm because it is rooted not in temporary things but in the eternal presence of His Spirit working among you. You will see how the blessing of God can reach into places you never thought possible, bringing healing to old wounds, restoring what was lost, and even giving back years that seemed wasted, for His miracle will make time itself bow to His will, and you will understand that nothing is ever too broken for Him to repair, nothing is ever too far gone for Him to redeem. And nothing in your life is beyond the reach of His powerful love which is ready to surround you like a shield of light. As His blessing begins to pour out, you may feel a gentle shift within your heart, a soft assurance that the season of tears is passing and a season of joy is beginning, and you will notice how even your thoughts start to change, filled more with hope than with fear, filled more with gratitude than with worry, and filled more with trust than with doubt, because when God blesses you, He does not just change what is around you, He transforms what is within you, making your spirit strong, steady, and filled with peace. Your family will witness these changes and be touched by them, for the miracle is not only for you but for those closest to you, and they too will feel the weight of burdens lifting, the warmth of love increasing, and the presence of God settling upon your home like a gentle covering of safety, and together you will walk into this new chapter not as individuals carrying separate struggles but as a family united by faith, strengthened by grace, and held by the hand of the one who has always loved you. In the days ahead, you may see small signs that this blessing is beginning to flow, and though they may seem simple at first, like unexpected kindness, unexplainable peace, or sudden opportunities that open before you, these are the gentle whispers of God reminding you that He is moving, He is working, and He is bringing His promise into reality, and as you remain faithful, those small signs will grow into undeniable evidence that the miracle you have waited for is now at your doorstep. This is the time when your heart must rest in the knowledge that God has already prepared everything for you, that nothing has been overlooked, that no detail has been forgotten, and that the blessing He is sending is not only perfect but timed exactly to meet your need, so you will not only survive this season but you will thrive in the one to come, walking forward with confidence, peace, and joy because His love has covered you. His hand has guided you, and His miracle has chosen you. Type 2323 if you trust in God. Archangel Michael says, the miracle that God is releasing upon your life is more than a simple answer to prayer. It is the unfolding of His divine plan that has been carefully prepared for you long before you faced the struggles that seem to weigh you down. And this blessing will arrive like a gentle rain upon dry land, filling every empty place within your heart and restoring every broken dream until your life shines as a testimony of His mercy, His love, and His endless care for those who remain faithful. The hardships that once felt like endless storms will no longer define your days, for the Lord has already spoken a new chapter into being, one where peace is not distant but close, one where joy does not vanish but lingers, and one where every moment carries the fragrance of hope. And as you step into this season, you will see how He was never absent, how He was guiding you even in silence, and how every delay was leading you to a greater blessing that could only come in His perfect timing. This blessing is not fragile or temporary, for what God gives is eternal and lasting, and when He decides to pour His favor upon you, it becomes a river that never runs dry, flowing into every part of your life and spilling over into the lives of those around you. And soon your family will experience this overflowing goodness, their hearts lifted by the peace that enters your home, their days brightened by the joy that cannot be explained, and their faith strengthened as they see with their own eyes the power of His hand at work. There will be moments when you pause in wonder, realizing that what once seemed impossible is now unfolding before you with ease, and in those moments your spirit will overflow with gratitude, because you will understand that none of it happened by chance, but all of it was designed by a God who loves you deeply, who knows you better than you know yourself, and who delights in turning your mourning into dancing and your heaviness into a garment of praise that lifts your soul higher than you imagined. The miracle will not be limited to material things, though those may surely come, but it will reach deeper into your spirit, healing old wounds that words could never touch, calming fears that no comfort could quiet, and renewing hope where despair once lived. And this inner transformation will shine through your words, your actions, and your very presence, becoming a light to others who see the change within you and feel drawn to the source of your peace, which is the love of God alive within your heart. Every day in this new season will carry with it a quiet assurance that you are not walking alone, that the struggles you once carried are no longer your own, and that the hand of God is guiding you into brighter paths. And when you face moments of doubt, you will find strength rising within you that you did not know you had, because His Spirit will be your comfort, His presence will be your guide, and His promise will be the anchor that holds you steady through every moment of uncertainty. Type 555 to receive miracles. Your family will begin to see the difference as well, for the blessing is not meant to remain with you alone, but to flow through you into their lives, healing relationships that were strained, opening doors that were closed, and bringing laughter where silence once lingered. And in time your home will become a place where peace dwells, where hope lives, and where love never runs out, because it is rooted in the endless faithfulness of God, who has chosen to bless you with more than you could ever ask or imagine. Even the world around you will notice the change, for the glow of God's presence cannot be hidden, and the story of your life will quietly speak of His power, reminding others that no matter how heavy the burden or how long the waiting, there comes a time when God steps in, and when He does, nothing can remain the same, because His blessing is stronger than every trial, His mercy is greater than every failure, and His love is deeper than every wound that tried to break your spirit. The transformation that is beginning in your life will not only comfort your present but will secure your future, for God does not bless you halfway, He blesses you completely, filling your days with the assurance that you are chosen, cherished, and cared for. And as you continue forward, you will see that His hand is steady, His promises are unshakable, and His love is everlasting, giving you the strength to live not in fear but in freedom, not in sorrow but in joy, and not in weakness but in the power of His grace. This part of your journey is only the continuation of His greater plan, and the miracle He has prepared is not a fleeting moment but the beginning of a new season that will unfold with beauty, grace, and purpose. And as you walk forward, you will see how His blessing grows day by day, how it touches every corner of your life, and how it brings peace to your heart in a way that nothing else ever could, for He is faithful, and His promise is already alive within you. Type 1919 to embrace healing. Archangel Michael says, "The blessing that is about to fall upon your life is not only an answer to your cries but also a declaration from heaven that your story will not end in sorrow, because the Lord has seen your long nights of pain and He has chosen to replace them with mornings filled with light, laughter, and renewal. And this miracle blessing will not only transform your days but will also reach deeply into your family, binding hearts together, healing wounds that were never spoken of, and creating a new atmosphere where peace and joy will flow like an endless river." The journey you have walked until now may have seemed like a path filled with shadows and endless tests, but those very trials were preparing you for the strength that will now carry you into a brighter future. and you will soon look back and see that nothing was wasted, for every moment of waiting, every hidden tear, and every whispered prayer has been gathered by God. And now He is releasing a blessing so complete that it will touch not just one area of your life but all the corners where you once felt lack, emptiness, or despair. This miracle is not fragile like the shifting winds of the world, nor is it uncertain like human promises, but it is firm, steady, and eternal, for it comes from the heart of the One who created you, who knows every detail of your being, and who delights in restoring what was broken, multiplying what was small, and turning every stumbling block into a stepping stone that leads you into a new season overflowing with His presence, His grace, and His never-ending love. Very soon you will notice the heaviness that once clung to your soul being lifted, and in its place will come a deep calm, a quiet reassurance that no matter what may surround you, God's hand is holding you steady, and this peace will not be a temporary feeling but a lasting presence that remains within you, helping you face every day with courage, hope, and the certainty that His promise is unfolding moment by moment in ways you cannot yet fully see but will soon recognize with joy. Your family will walk in the shadow of this blessing as well, for what God is releasing upon you will not remain contained, it will flow outward like light through windows, illuminating the hearts of those closest to you, and their lives will be touched with the same peace, the same joy, and the same healing that you are experiencing, so that together you will step into this new chapter not as weary travelers but as a family strengthened, renewed, and bound by the shared gift of His love. The blessing will reach into your home, softening the atmosphere that once carried worry and turning it into a place of warmth where hearts find rest, and as the days go by, laughter will return like an old friend, hope will rise with the dawn, and love will surround every word and action, until your household becomes a living testimony of what it means to be touched by the hand of God and to live under the covering of His unfailing grace. You will begin to notice doors opening that once seemed forever closed, opportunities appearing in places you never expected, and favor resting upon your efforts in ways that cannot be explained by chance. And in those moments you will know with certainty that it is the Lord who is moving, arranging circumstances, and aligning paths to bring you into the fulfillment of His promise, because when He decides to bless you, no obstacle is too strong and no barrier is too high to stop what He has already declared over your life. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. Even your inner thoughts will begin to shift, no longer bound by fear or doubt but lifted by hope and trust, and where once there was anxiety, now there will be faith, where once there was confusion, now there will be clarity, and where once there was despair, now there will be joy, because the Spirit of God will not only transform what is outside of you but will also renew what is within you, making your heart stronger, your vision clearer, and your spirit more anchored in His endless love. This miracle blessing is not the end but the beginning, for the Lord is not only lifting you out of struggle but setting your feet on a path of lasting peace, where each day will hold new reasons to give thanks, and each moment will carry fresh evidence of His kindness, until you come to understand that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, and always loved with a love greater than the deepest oceans and stronger than the highest mountains, a love that has now chosen to reveal itself in your life through this blessing. In the days to come, you will stand as a living witness to the truth that God never abandons His children, and the story of your life will shine as a message of encouragement to others, showing them that no matter how long the night, morning always comes, and no matter how heavy the burden, there comes a time when God Himself lifts it away and replaces it with joy, peace, and the sweetness of His presence, and that time, beloved, has now come for you and your family. Archangel Michael says, "The hand of God is moving with great tenderness over your life, and the blessing that He is preparing for you is not something small or ordinary. It is a miracle designed to change the very rhythm of your days, to take away the years of sorrow and replace them with seasons of overflowing peace, and to bring such joy into your family that even the walls of your home will seem to echo with the sound of His love and the warmth of His presence filling every corner with new life." The struggles that weighed heavily upon your spirit were never meant to destroy you but to prepare you for the greatness of this moment, and now the trials that once caused your heart to tremble will become the very testimony that proves His power, for you will be able to say with certainty that the Lord did not abandon you, He did not ignore your cries, but He was shaping every detail so that the blessing could arrive at the perfect time, strong enough to cover every need and tender enough to heal every wound. Type 222 if you know God is with you. This blessing will be unlike anything you have known before, because it will not simply add comfort to your life, it will completely transform the way you see your future, removing fear of what lies ahead and replacing it with confidence that God Himself has gone before you, preparing the way, clearing obstacles, and arranging opportunities that will lift you into a season where your days are brighter, your nights are peaceful, and your heart is free from the burdens that once kept you bound. The presence of this miracle will bring renewal not only to you but also to the ones you love most, and the heavy shadows that once lingered over your family will be scattered by the light of His glory, for He is not only blessing you as an individual but blessing your household, ensuring that His peace dwells in your home, His joy strengthens your relationships, and His love becomes the foundation upon which every part of your life is built, strong and unshakable even in the face of storms. There will be moments when you pause in quiet wonder, realizing how the heaviness that once followed you has disappeared, and in its place there is a calm so deep that it feels like standing in the center of a gentle sunrise, where everything around you glows with the promise of new beginnings, and in that calm your soul will finally find rest, no longer striving to carry what is too heavy but resting in the assurance that God has already taken the weight from your shoulders. This miracle blessing will bring provision where there was lack, healing where there was brokenness, and strength where there was weakness, and you will see doors opening in places you never thought possible, relationships restored in ways you did not expect, and peace flowing in situations that once felt beyond repair, for the power of God's hand knows no limit, and when He chooses to move on your behalf, every wall must fall, every chain must break, and every dark night must surrender to the light of His glory. Your heart will learn to sing again, not because all struggles vanish forever, but because the love of God has filled you so completely that nothing can shake the joy within you, and even when small challenges arise, you will face them with a strength that surprises you, knowing that the same God who has poured this blessing into your life will continue to guide you, protect you, and surround you with the grace that never runs out and the mercy that renews itself each morning. Your family will walk in the overflow of this blessing as well, and together you will step into a new rhythm of life, one where love is not strained but abundant, one where hope is not fragile but strong, and one where unity becomes a reflection of God's own heart, and as others see the transformation in you and your loved ones, they too will be reminded of the power of faith, the reality of God's love, and the beauty of a miracle that comes not from human effort but from the hand of heaven itself. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. The days of doubt and fear will lose their grip, because you will carry within you the living proof that God hears, God answers, and God delivers, and this awareness will not only shape your spirit but will also flow into your words, your choices, and your very presence, until people who meet you feel the peace you carry, a peace that is not of this world but comes directly from the God who has chosen to bless you beyond measure, leaving you forever changed by His love. And as this part of your journey unfolds, you will know with certainty that the story of your life has been rewritten by grace, that the tears of yesterday have been exchanged for joy today, and that the future which once felt uncertain has now been secured by the promise of God's blessing, and this assurance will carry you forward, step by step, into the fullness of all that He has prepared, reminding you always that you are cherished, you are chosen, and you are deeply loved. Archangel Michael says, "The miracle that God is placing before you is not just a blessing to ease your current pain, it is a divine turning point that will reshape the story of your life, bringing light into every shadow and filling your days with a joy so deep that it will spill over into your family, creating an atmosphere where peace is constant, love is abundant, and hope never fades. And this sacred outpouring will mark the beginning of a future that shines brighter than you ever dared to dream." The struggles you endured were not unnoticed, for every sigh and every tear was gathered by God, and though at times the silence may have felt unbearable, His hand was always near, guiding you quietly through valleys that seemed endless, until now, when He has chosen to reveal His plan with power, pouring out a blessing that is far greater than the pain of the past, and as it unfolds, you will see that His timing is perfect. His love is unwavering, and His faithfulness cannot fail. This new season will feel like the lifting of a heavy curtain, revealing colors more vivid than you have ever seen, and your heart will come alive with renewed strength, no longer weighed down by uncertainty but soaring with assurance that the Lord has stepped in, that His promise is alive within you, and that the miracle He has prepared is not just for a moment but for a lifetime, shaping your days with goodness, your nights with peace, and your years with blessings that continue to grow. As His presence covers you, every fear that once tried to control your heart will begin to dissolve, replaced by a calm so steady that even when challenges arise, you will face them with confidence, knowing that the same God who has brought you to this moment will continue to carry you, sustain you, and surround you with grace that cannot be taken away, and this peace will shine from within you like a light, guiding not only your steps but also inspiring those around you to believe in His love. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. The blessing that is being released is not limited to your own heart, for it will move through your family like a gentle wind, healing wounds that were unspoken, softening hearts that were hardened, and weaving unity where there was division, until your home becomes a place where His Spirit dwells richly, where every word is seasoned with kindness, where every moment carries the fragrance of joy, and where His love becomes the unshakable foundation upon which your family stands together. You will see relationships strengthened in ways that you once thought impossible, with forgiveness flowing like a river that washes away bitterness, with love taking root in places where distance had grown, and with laughter returning to rooms that had fallen silent, because when God blesses, He blesses completely, leaving no part untouched by His mercy, and your family will walk together in the warmth of His promise, stronger than before and bound by the miracle that has covered your lives. Even the smallest details of your life will begin to reflect His hand. As doors open in unexpected ways, opportunities arise that align perfectly with your needs, and provision arrives at the very moment it is required, reminding you again and again that you are not forgotten, that you are deeply loved, and that the God who has chosen to pour this miracle blessing upon you is faithful to finish what He has begun, ensuring that His goodness follows you wherever you go. The transformation within you will be undeniable, as your thoughts shift from worry to gratitude, your words shift from despair to encouragement, and your outlook shifts from fear to hope, and this change will not only bring freedom to your spirit but will also influence those around you, for your life will become a living reflection of God's faithfulness, a gentle reminder that His love can reach anyone, heal anything, and restore everything, no matter how broken it once seemed. This blessing is not just a chapter but the beginning of a new book, one written by the hand of God Himself, where each page carries evidence of His care, each paragraph is filled with His promises, and each line whispers of His love. And as you continue in this story, you will find strength rising in your heart, joy flowing in your steps, and peace surrounding your journey, reminding you always that you are walking in the fullness of His grace and the abundance of His miracle. Your life will stand as proof that God answers, that He lifts His children from the dust and sets them upon firm ground, and as the days unfold, you will carry within you the unshakable truth that His love never fails, His blessings never run dry, and His promises are as certain as the rising of the sun. And with this assurance, you and your family will live not in fear of what tomorrow holds but in the freedom of knowing that His blessing has secured your future forever. Type Amen if you believe in God's endless mercy. Archangel Michael says, "The blessing that is flowing toward you is not only the end of a difficult chapter but the birth of something entirely new, for God has decided that your pain has lasted long enough and now He is sending a miracle that will rise like a dawn after a long night, spreading light into every dark place of your life and filling both you and your family with a joy that will not fade, a peace that will not weaken, and a love that will remain unshaken through every season that lies ahead." This moment of divine intervention will be like a gentle hand lifting you from the weight of your burdens, reminding you that you were never created to carry such heaviness forever, and as the blessing unfolds, you will notice how the chains that once held you begin to break, how the fears that once controlled you begin to dissolve, and how the sorrow that once consumed you begins to transform into gratitude. Because when the Lord decides to bless His children, He restores what was broken, multiplies what was lacking, and heals what was wounded with a love deeper than words can describe. The miracle that is being released into your life will reach far beyond your personal heart, for it will flow into your family as well, creating unity where there was distance, laughter where there was silence, and understanding where there was conflict, until the atmosphere of your home becomes a reflection of heaven's peace, filled with warmth, tenderness, and the assurance that the presence of God is dwelling among you, guiding your steps and filling your future with light. Your days of endless striving are coming to an end, for the Lord has chosen to replace your weariness with renewal, your emptiness with abundance, and your despair with joy, and as you move forward, you will begin to see His hand arranging circumstances in your favor, opening doors that were long shut, and placing opportunities before you that could not have appeared through human effort alone. And each of these moments will be a reminder that His power is active, His plan is unfolding, and His blessing is unstoppable. The peace that comes with this blessing will not be fragile or fleeting, for it will be rooted in the eternal nature of God's love, and you will feel it surrounding you like a gentle covering, steadying your heart when doubts try to rise, strengthening your spirit when old memories return, and reminding you again and again that His promise is not only for today but for all the days to come, a constant assurance that you are safe, cherished, and guided in the palm of His hand. This blessing will not only change what you see around you but also what you feel within you, for the fears that once whispered in your mind will lose their power, and in their place will come courage, confidence, and gratitude that cannot be shaken. And as your heart begins to overflow with these new gifts, your words will carry hope, your presence will carry peace, and your life will quietly speak of the goodness of God to all who come near you, becoming a light in the lives of others. Type 2020 to embrace joy and strength in Christ. Even the scars of your past will no longer bring pain, for they will become reminders of how far you have come and how faithful God has been, and instead of being marks of sorrow, they will shine as evidence of His healing, testifying that no wound is too deep for His touch, no loss is too great for His mercy, and no past is too broken for His love to redeem, and this awareness will anchor you in gratitude, keeping your eyes fixed not on what was lost but on the blessings that have now been given. Your family will rejoice alongside you, for the blessing will not rest upon you alone but will extend to them, strengthening your relationships, deepening your unity, and surrounding each of you with an atmosphere of joy that will become impossible to ignore, and in time, your household will become a beacon of hope to others, showing them what it looks like to live under the favor of God, to walk in the fullness of His promise, and to dwell daily in the warmth of His unending love. The days of feeling overlooked and forgotten will vanish, for now you will live with the unshakable truth that God has seen you, He has heard you, and He has chosen to bless you with a miracle that no one can take away, and this knowledge will steady you in every season, giving you peace when storms arise, giving you joy even in simple moments, and giving you strength when challenges appear, because you will know that His hand is upon you and His blessing is covering you. This is the time when your life shifts from surviving to thriving, from waiting to receiving, and from sorrow to joy, and as you step fully into this blessing, you will realize that the Lord has not only changed your present but has also secured your future, ensuring that the road ahead is filled with light, love, and endless grace, and with this assurance, you and your family will walk boldly, confidently, and peacefully, knowing that your story has been rewritten by the miracle of His love. Archangel Michael says, "The blessing that is unfolding over your life will not only touch the surface of your circumstances but will go deep into the very foundation of your existence, for the Lord has decided that the time of struggle and waiting has reached its end, and now He is pouring out a miracle that will rebuild what was torn down, heal what was broken, and renew what was weary, until you and your family are lifted into a season where every day feels like a gentle embrace of His endless love." This miracle blessing is not simply an answer to one of your prayers, it is a response to all the cries of your heart that have risen to heaven over the years, for every moment of pain, every sleepless night, and every weary step you took was seen by God, and He has chosen to transform all of it into a testimony of His goodness, and now, like a seed that has been hidden beneath the soil for a long time, your blessing is ready to break forth, blossoming into something far more beautiful than you could have imagined. The presence of this blessing will feel like light entering a room that had long been dark, and suddenly everything around you will carry a new sense of life, and as this happens, your heart will begin to rest in the assurance that you are no longer walking in shadows but in the radiance of God's favor, and this radiance will not fade with time but will continue to grow, illuminating your path and guiding you into days filled with peace, joy, and the quiet strength that only His love can provide. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. Your family will experience this transformation as well, for God has not only decided to bless you but to bring His peace into your household, turning moments of tension into moments of laughter, turning uncertainty into confidence, and turning silence into songs of joy. And as you gather together, you will notice how the atmosphere of your home changes, becoming a place where His Spirit dwells richly, where love becomes stronger, and where hope becomes the foundation upon which your future is built. Every area of your life that once felt empty will now be filled with abundance, and the opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin to open before you with ease, because when God decides to pour His blessing, no obstacle can remain standing, and what was once closed off will suddenly become a doorway into something greater, and in these moments you will realize that His hand has been arranging every detail, aligning every step, and preparing every blessing so that it arrives at the very moment you need it most. The peace that will settle within you will be unlike anything you have known before, for it will not come from circumstances or fleeting happiness, but from the assurance that the Creator of heaven and earth is holding you in His care, and this peace will steady you in the face of challenges, strengthen you in the midst of uncertainties, and fill your soul with confidence that no matter what lies ahead, you are never alone and you are always protected by His love. Your heart will begin to overflow with gratitude as you see the hand of God moving in both great and small ways, and even the simplest moments will carry a sweetness that reminds you of His nearness, for when His blessing touches your life, it does not only change the large and obvious things but also transforms the everyday moments, turning them into reminders of His love, His provision, and His desire to fill your days with joy that does not fade. The people around you will notice the change as well, for your life will shine with a light that cannot be hidden, a calmness that cannot be explained, and a joy that cannot be contained, and without you needing to speak many words, your presence will testify of the power of God's blessing, encouraging others to trust, to hope, and to believe that the same God who has transformed your life can also bring light into theirs. For His love is boundless and His mercy never fails. Even the burdens of the past will begin to lose their hold, for the Lord is not only giving you a new beginning but also redeeming what was lost, and the memories that once brought pain will instead remind you of how far you have come and how faithful He has been, and as you reflect on this journey, your spirit will be strengthened, your hope will grow deeper, and your joy will become a constant song, reminding you that His love has carried you from sorrow into celebration. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. This is not just a passing moment of blessing but the unfolding of a lasting season of grace, and as you continue forward, you will discover layer upon layer of His goodness revealed in your life, until you come to realize that His promise is not only to bless you once but to walk with you always, guiding, protecting, and loving you and your family through every step of this journey, ensuring that your story remains a testimony of His mercy, His strength, and His endless love. Archangel Michael says, "The miracle that God is about to pour upon your life will not come as a small shift but as a great wave of His love, washing away the years of heaviness, renewing every weary corner of your spirit, and planting seeds of joy that will blossom not only in your days but also in the lives of your family, until your home becomes a sanctuary of peace where His presence is felt in every word, every gesture, and every breath of life." The hardships you have endured were not in vain, for every trial was shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessing that is now arriving. And though the journey was painful, it was never wasted, because God has been watching closely, weaving your struggles into a tapestry of grace, and now He is lifting you into a chapter where sorrow cannot rule, fear cannot bind, and hopelessness cannot linger, for His blessing is greater than all that came before. This blessing will move like sunlight after a storm, breaking through the clouds that once seemed endless and filling your days with warmth, clarity, and hope, and as it unfolds, you will feel strength rising within you that you did not know was there, a strength born not of your own efforts but of His Spirit dwelling within you, carrying you forward with courage, surrounding you with peace, and reminding you at every step that His hand has never let you go. Your family will feel the embrace of this miracle as well, for it is not meant for you alone but for those you hold close to your heart, and the love of God will move through your home like a gentle river, calming the noise of worry, healing the wounds of the past, and restoring joy in ways that will bring tears of gratitude, until your household becomes a reflection of heaven's peace, a place where love is not broken but whole, where unity is not fragile but strong, and where laughter rises like music in the air. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. The miracle will open paths that once seemed blocked, and the opportunities that will appear before you will feel like doors swinging wide, revealing places of promise you never imagined you would enter. And each of these moments will remind you that when God decides to bless, nothing can stand against it, for His power is beyond measure, His wisdom beyond understanding, and His mercy beyond anything the human heart could ever hope to grasp. You will notice your heart changing as well, for where once there was constant worry, there will now be trust, where once there was fear, there will now be courage, and where once there was sorrow, there will now be joy, and this transformation will not only bring freedom to your own life but will also flow outward, touching those who cross your path, for they will see in you the peace that comes only from the hand of God, and they will feel the gentle invitation of His love through your presence. Even the weight of your past will no longer hold you down, for God is not only giving you a blessing for today but also redeeming the years that felt stolen, restoring what seemed lost, and turning your scars into reminders of His healing. And when you look back, you will see not the pain but the proof that His love has carried you, and this realization will fill you with gratitude so deep that it will become the song of your life, echoing in every step you take forward. Your nights will be different too, for the restless thoughts that once kept you awake will be replaced by peace, and the dreams you carry will no longer feel distant but alive, drawing nearer each day as His plan unfolds. And as you wake in the mornings, you will find yourself filled with quiet joy, aware that the blessing is not only promised but present, already working, already shaping, already transforming your life into something more beautiful than you ever believed possible. This blessing is not only about the changing of circumstances but about the renewing of your entire being, for God is giving you a heart that is steady, a spirit that is strong, and a faith that is unshakable, and with these gifts, you will move forward not with fear of the unknown but with confidence in His care, knowing that every step ahead has already been prepared, every challenge already answered, and every need already supplied by the One who loves you beyond measure. The story of your life will soon speak of this transformation, becoming a living testimony of the goodness of God, and as others witness the change in you and your family, they too will be encouraged to trust, to hope, and to believe, for your journey will quietly remind them that the Lord never abandons His children, that His timing is always perfect, and that His blessings, once released, have the power to rewrite the future with light, with joy, and with the certainty of His eternal love.